I'm your host, Muskan, TechnologyWali, and today we have a very special guest, someone who has inspired countless young minds through his amazing journey from a curious student to a NASA engineer. Let's welcome Mr. Gabe Gabrielle. Gabe, it's such a pleasure to have you on my show today. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you so much. It's a privilege and an honor to do this with you. I would like to say to everybody in Pakistan, good evening. Good morning from here in Florida. So it's 9:15 in the morning and the sun is shining. And as soon as it's over, I'm going outside in the sunshine.
That's great to hear. So, Gabe, let's start from your early days. What first inspired your love for space and engineering?
Well, really, really very interesting story on how I got to that. I growing up as a kid, I had no desire, no knowledge, no ambition at all to do either one of those two. I really struggled in school, and I did very poorly. So I didn't really think I had the ability to do that. So it never occurred to me. It was after I'd been out of high school 12 years, and I went to university for 8 years, and I got an opportunity to see the very first space shuttle launch. So the space shuttle is a really very, very special ship. It looks like a plane, but it's actually a rocket ship. And I saw the very first one of those. And when I saw that ship, I thought, wow, that's amazing. Something I think I'd like to do. Prior to that, I really never thought about getting involved in the space program. And I never thought about getting involved in engineering for the same reason. I was driving a truck and I was playing sports, and a friend of mine, and I have no idea why. I have no idea why he said this to me. He said, "Did you ever think about going to engineering?" And I had never thought about it because I didn't think I could do it. But by that time, I'd been around a lot of people who'd been through engineering, and I realized if they can do it, I can do it. You don't have to be so smart. You just have to be determined. So that's kind of how, a very roundabout way, I got involved in both of those. But it was never a goal. It was never a plan. It just kind of happened.
Oh, that's interesting. So, was there a specific childhood moment when you thought, one day I will work with NASA?
No, not knowing my childhood. I really, really struggled with education and schooling, and so in my mind, I never thought I had the ability to do those things. So it never occurred to me to do them because I struggled so much in school. I hated school. I really hated school. So I didn't put any effort. Half the time I didn't go. I was really a really a battle for me. The one thing I had going for me was I like sports, and I was really good at sports. So I understand when kids struggle because I struggled, and many kids struggle and they don't have an out. They struggle all of the time. For me, I could go play sports. Anytime I was playing sports, I felt good about myself. I enjoyed life. I was okay. So I had a balance of all the negative with this positive, which kind of got me through when a lot of kids were struggling.
Okay, that sounds great. Uh, how did your journey begin from being a regular student to joining NASA?
Yeah, so I was in the Air Force when I got out of high school. I really couldn't do anything, so I joined the Air Force, and there's an Air Force base very close to NASA in Florida, Kennedy Space Center. So I had the opportunity to go to Kennedy Space Center to see a launch and to see a little bit about it. And when it's like something you see on TV or you see uh, in on YouTube or something. It's not real. It's something make believe in a way. But when you see it real and you see the buildings and you see the ships, it becomes much more something that you think you can attain. So after I saw the very first shuttle launch, I made up my mind I was going to get a job there. And by then I had a lot of experience and a lot of confidence. So I knew I could do it. I just had to get the opportunity.
Yes, absolutely right. We have to believe in ourselves and we can do everything we want.
Yes, very,
So,
very.
what was your first experience like when you started working there?
Oh, it was magical. It was just awesome. And when you go on Kennedy Space Center or on NASA at Kennedy Space Center, everywhere you go, there's pictures of stars. There's pictures of the solar system. Every wall, every building, everywhere you look, there's all these magical places. And then you see a big ship being put together in a great big building, and it goes to a launch pad. and it goes to these magical places. So your imagination becomes reality. It's just so much fun for me. And every minute of every day, I totally enjoyed it there. And I still go out there today. I'm going out there today, actually. And every time I go there, just being in the environment is so much fun for me.
Oh, sounds exciting. Is there any fun or unforgettable memory from your NASA journey that still makes you smile?
Everything makes me smile. I have this philosophy, and anybody can do anything. I don't care what it is. Anybody can do it. Can you enjoy doing it? The challenge is never to do something. The challenge is to enjoy doing. And Muskan, if you can learn to make everything you do your favorite thing in the world to do as you're doing it, your life is going to be so happy. So the challenge is never to just do something. The challenge is to enjoy everything equally. If you can learn to do that, your life is going to be so much fun because you're always doing your favorite thing.
Yes, absolutely right. I agree with you. So, space work sounds so exciting, but also full of challenges. What's one tough moment you faced, and how did you overcome it?
So to me, every minute of every day is a challenge. Everything I do is a challenge, and I love the challenge. I love the sense of accomplishment when you overcome the challenge. Doing this interview right now, I think I mentioned to you before, the most important thing to me right now, this minute, is you doing the interview with you. We're a team together. We're going to have a common goal. I can't do it without you. You can't do it without me. And we're equal. And I'll tell you something else. When you do an interview, when somebody does an interview, the most important part of the interview is the person doing the interview because they lead you down the path. You're responding to their questions. You're responding to the way they ask you things, and so you're more important to this than me because I'm following your guide. But everything to me is a challenge. The challenge is to enjoy everything you do. I talk about three things. These three things are really important. Do your best, enjoy what you do, believe in yourself. If you learn those three things, you'll never work, nothing will ever be hard, you'll never have stress, you'll never have pressure, you'll be very successful and have fun doing it. The three things are really simple. Do your best. With this interview right now, I'm going to do the best I can to support you in this interview. Always do your best. There'll be times in your life when you have to do something and you have to do your absolute best. Your whole career may depend on it. If you practice doing your best all the time, when that happens, you'll do your best, you'll be fine. If you don't practice that, you might be intimidated, you might get scared, you might mess up. But always learn to do your best. Enjoy everything you do. You can do this interview, enjoy it or not. Either way, you will do it. It's how you choose to see it. Find positives in everything you do, especially yourself. Many girls are very self critical. You have to learn it's okay to feel good about yourself. It doesn't mean you think you're better than others. And you look your absolute best when you wake up in the morning. Everybody does. Learn to look at that girl first thing in the morning, one eye's closed, hair is a mess. Ah, I look pretty good. That's what you want to do. And learn to believe in yourself. This is most critical. Very few people have it. That's why they have stress. That's why they have pressure. They just don't believe in themselves. Doesn't matter how much money they have, doesn't matter how successful they are. They don't have that belief in themselves. How do you get that belief in yourself? Most things start as a thought or a dream. You take that dream and you write it down. You say, "This is my goal. So I'm here and I want to go there. How do I get there?" You plan small steps. Don't be in a hurry. The smaller the step, easier it is to accomplish. Easier it is to accomplish, will help you develop that belief and that confidence in yourself. And you want to do that very, very slowly. And one day you will say to yourself, I can do anything. When you believe you can do anything, you will never have stress. You'll never have pressure. You just go do it because you believe you can. And when you enjoy it, you do it better. So these are very important things to me. And one of the reasons I do so many of these interviews, I want people to know and I want kids to know you have a choice in life. You can be happy or you can be miserable. Either way, you're going to do it. It's always about a choice. And the most important thing to me, when we finish, I want you to do the same thing the same way. I just want you to think about it differently. Learn to find positives in everything you do. Learn to find positives in yourself. your life will be so much more full and enjoyed so much. And this is how I live.
Thank you so much for mentioning these informative points. These are very important, and I will surely implement it in my life. So, my next question to you is, what was your very first experience like when you started? Sorry, you have met many brilliant minds. What's the biggest thing you have learned from your colleagues at NASA?
I think the biggest thing is everybody's the same. People are people. It doesn't matter whether you work at NASA or you work at McDonald's. My first job was at McDonald's flipping burgers, and I loved it, and I had a lot of fun doing that. And I did the same thing at NASA, but at NASA is different because of the environment you're in. So it's not so much what you do at NASA; it's where you do it that makes it so much special. I try to learn from everybody, and you have to, in order to learn, you have to be willing to do three things. First, you have to listen, then you have to evaluate, and then you adapt. So anytime you meet somebody, you can learn from them if you're willing to do those three steps. So at NASA, now one of the things about NASA, it's the most experienced people get to work there because so many people apply. So they take the most experience. So often you're dealing with people who are very knowledgeable in certain areas, but still you have to learn to get along. And then one of the things to me is most critical is getting along with people. Two things you should always respect and always be kind to others. And if you learn that, it's important. But it doesn't matter where you are. Being at NASA, to me, the people are people. Some are smart in areas and some are smart in other areas. Doesn't mean they're better than anybody because of where they have their most knowledge. But the idea is always be a team. You learn from each other, you help each other. It doesn't matter who's smarter or who's more experienced. None of that really matters. The objective is to work together, help each other, support each other. And to me, everybody is equal on a team. Doesn't matter who does what. We are all equal. We all have a common goal, and we're successful together.
Yes, your perspective is right. We have to think that everyone is equal. We are not different from someone. We have to believe in yourself, but don't over believe in yourself that you are different from someone. Everybody is not equal. We have to make our mindset that we are equal to everybody. Not we are very different from someone or someone is different from us. Don't underestimate yourself or don't over judge someone or yourself. So my next question to you is, um, who was your biggest inspiration when you were growing up?
Yeah, it's interesting because I get asked that question a lot, and I'm looking back over it. I really didn't have anyone specifically. The biggest thing I remember about growing up was my dad worked nights, so I really didn't see him. But I had two uncles, and I'm all, a big family, but two uncles who were always happy. And no matter where we went, no matter what we did, these two guys were always smiling and always happy. And I remember being a little kid and thinking everybody else is complaining. These two guys are happy. I don't know why, but I want to be like them. When I grow up, I want to be happy. I don't want to be full of stress and pressure and complaining all the time. I want to be like them. So indirectly, they were an influence on me. We never spoke about it. We never consciously even brought it up. I did to them later when I was grown up, and I said, you guys really helped me, and they couldn't believe it. So what I tried to do is I tried to consciously help others and say, look, I'm having fun with life. That doesn't mean you don't try. That doesn't mean you don't do your best. Sometimes people see you smiling and they think, oh, this person isn't doing anything. They think you have to be complaining to do something. So my idea when I was growing up, I want to enjoy life. I don't know what it's going to take to do that, but that's what I want to do. And I was very, very fortunate that somehow I developed a mentality where I enjoy everything I do.
Enjoy my life. And now my next question is, if you could travel to any planet or moon, where would you go and why?
Well, I would like to go to Mars, but I don't think I would really go. I would probably go to the moon, our moon, because you can get there in 3 days. you can hang out for a week and you can come back. If you want to go to Mars, it takes you 7 months to get there. And because of the way the planets go around the sun, when you get there, you have to stay 23 months before you can come back. So if you go to Mars, it's at least 3 years to go there and come back. And I don't know if I want to be away from the beach and away from the lifestyle on the planet Earth for 3 years. But I'd love to go to space and I'd love to experience it. So I would probably pick the moon because it's closest, and it would be fun to do. And you could get there and back in a week probably, or maybe two.
Oh, okay. So NASA keeps making incredible discoveries. Which mission or innovation excites you the most right now?
So right now we have a mission called Artemis. Artemis is a mission that's going to take men and women, and for the first time, women to the moon. And it's Artemis is a mission, and its name is very interesting. Its name is Artemis because when astronauts from the U.S. went to the moon in the 60s and 70s, they went under the Apollo program. Apollo was the Greek god who loved the moon. That's why they called it Apollo. But only men went under Apollo. No women went. So Artemis is his twin sister. So his twin sister is the goddess of the moon. So under the Artemis mission, women are going to go to the moon for the first time. And there's actually a test flight scheduled for February where they're going to put men and women in a capsule called Orion. They're going to fly it around the moon. They're going to go to deep space and they're going to bring back. That's called Artemis 2. Artemis 3, which is supposed to be sometime in 27, is going to land people on the moon. They're going to build a base on the moon. They're going to live on the moon, and they're going to learn lessons on the moon to go to Mars. So right now, that's kind of the forefront of what's going on as far as the excitement within NASA building to the Artemis crewed mission in February.
Oh, interesting to hear that. Uh, you are known for mixing humor with science. How important do you think laughter and positivity are in your field?
Not in any, they're the same in every field. To me, in order to be a good leader, in order to be you successful, you have to feel good about yourself. That's why it's so important to develop the belief in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect others to believe in you? If you don't have confidence in yourself, how can you expect others? And you should always have fun. I actually got in trouble one time when I was working for being too happy. Honestly, people were saying you're too happy because if you're smiling and happy, people think you're not doing anything. You have to be complaining. People would say, "Hey, Gabe, you have to do this." Okay, I can do it. No, it's really hard. No, I can do it. And they expect me to be giving, "Oh, it's so much trouble. Why are you giving this?" Everybody complains. I never complain. I'm always happy. So, and when you're happy and having fun, the challenge to me is to make everything I do fun. That doesn't mean I don't do my best, but I want to enjoy it. I'm getting ready to come to India and Pakistan next week. So my flight time is 21 hours just on the plane. Prior to that, I've got to spend 4 hours in the airport and getting ready. And then when I get to, I'm going to India first. When I get to India, I'm going to have to get out the airport, get customs. So that 21 hours will probably be 30 hours from the time I leave till the time I get to where I'm going. So 30 hours is a long time in traveling. But you got to make every minute fun. Everything you do, the challenge is never to do something. The challenge is to enjoy it all and always be thankful. If you're always thankful, you always feel good about whatever you're doing. And I never have a negative experience. I always say to myself, it could be worse. No matter what, it could be worse. Everything I think about, everything I do is positive, and I want to have fun doing it. I think I mentioned to you earlier, the challenge is never to do something. The challenge is to enjoy doing something. Anybody can do something. Can you enjoy it? That's the challenge. And I enjoy it all.
Oh wow, you are coming to uh, India. Would you also come to Pakistan?
Yes, I'm going to be in Pakistan. I'm actually coming to Karachi on November 13th, and I'll be there for 2 days, and then I'm going to Lahore, and then I'm going
Oh,
to Islamabad.
opportunity to meet you.
I would love to
So
meet
my
you.
next question is, if you actually met an alien someday, what's the first thing you had say to them?
Let's go to the beach. Let's go have some fun. Let's go to the beach. I'm in Florida, so if I meet one in Florida, it will be close to the beach, and it's one of my favorite things to do. So I think it would be interesting. I don't know, the and when you try to think of an alien, first of all, what would it look like? That's the most thing. And would have to be super, super intelligent because it's come from place some, millions and millions of kilometers away. And to get here, it would have to have some kind of super intelligence. I would hope, that the Earth, people of the Earth don't try to shoot it down or fight with it instead of welcoming it. But the way things go on the Earth, I hope it would come to me instead of somebody who would try to shoot it down.
Okay, thanks for your answer. So, many young people dream of joining NASA. What advice would you give them?
Yeah, so and the same advice for anything you want to do. If you want to go to NASA or whatever you want to do, you have to make it your goal, and you have to say to yourself, "Okay, I'm here. I'm in Pakistan. I want to go to NASA in the USA. How do I do that? What steps do I have to take?" So you want to plan the steps. One of the most challenging things for anybody outside of America, you have to be an American citizen to work for NASA because it's a government agency. So you have to become an American citizen. That's your biggest challenge. And one of the best ways to do that is through university. America has many great international student programs where you can come and go to school in America. So when you do that, then you're going to be in university for 4 years. And then you try to stay after university, establish a residency, and then become a citizen, and then apply to go to NASA. It may take 20 years. It's going to take a long time, but you're going to pass through those 20 years anyway. And I try to get people to understand everyone has this fascination with NASA. 20 years ago, NASA was the only option. Now you have many other choices. Don't try to limit yourself to NASA. You have many commercial companies. You have many countries that are going. So you have many more opportunities. So look at many options. But getting to NASA, the biggest challenge would be to become American citizen.
Okay, thank you for giving your advice. Um, you have inspired so many others, but what inspires you to keep going?
You. You inspire me to keep going. Uh, I, I can't explain the feeling I have when I'm with students, and it's just magical for me. And the connection is great. I don't know what it is. I don't can't explain it, but it's something I feel. And anytime I'm with kids and anytime I'm with students, even doing this, it's really, really special for me. And I look forward to these opportunities. And I don't know why. I just feel it, and it's equal. I know when I'm with kids, I'm looking at them and they're looking at me the same way. And I always say we're equal. I want you to understand. I'm no different. I'm no better than you. We are equal. And and I try to do whatever I can to help you have a better life. And I get so much from that. If you learn to do things for the joy of doing it, anytime you help somebody, the first thing you want to think, I'm very fortunate that I can help. So I'm very thankful for that. And then if you do it for the joy of doing without expectations, uh, you get so much reward for it. So for me, if I get to know you well and I see you successful, I get so much joy from that, and I really feel good about it. So it's just a magical environment for me, and I can't explain it. I just feel it, and the great sense of feeling, it drives me to do more and more and more.
Thank you so much for your kind words. Uh, and lastly, if you could take one personal item with you to Mars, what would it be and why?
A personal item. Uh,
Yeah.
I would probably. I don't know if would you call a girlfriend a personal item. So I probably would take him, take a girlfriend with me to Paris. Look, it's 3 years, you're going to be on the way 3 years. So I don't know somebody might take a pet. I don't know what you would take, but it's going to be, if you go to Mars and come back, it's over 3 years. So, and it's not a fun place to go. You can't breathe the air. You can't drink the water. The weather's terrible. Radiation is bad. It's really a miserable place. People say let's go colonize Mars, but I don't know if you want to really live on Mars long term. but people will live on Mars, and they will have to stay at least 2 years when they go to Mars. So I would probably take my girlfriend. I don't know any other thing that I would want to have with me for 3 years.
Thank you so much, Gabe, for joining us today. Your journey is truly out of this world, full of inspiration, humor, and heart. I'm sure our audience learned a lot from your story. Wishing you the best for your future missions and goals. And to all viewers, keep dreaming big, keep learning, and remember, even the sky is not the limit when you have passion. Thank you so much again for joining us.
So before you go, will you just do a heart for me?
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure seeing you and talking with you. Maybe I'll see you in Pakistan. I'm not sure exactly where you will you be. Are you close to any of those cities?
Unfortunately.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll talk this way and we'll stay in touch. If I can ever help you in any way, I'll be happy to do that.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
So,
Bye bye.